Alright, welcome back ladies and gentlemen to the Chupacabra Tutorials channel. I'm your host Larry, and today I'm going to show you how all of the different settings work inside of the Bluesky app, doing a bit of a walkthrough of what all of them are and what they do for you. So popping into settings, you've got your account details at the top, and I'm currently signed in as me. Don't tell anyone, but I'm a wild man that way. You can do things like remove this account from your login, because you can log into multiple accounts at the same time and moderate different content for them, because some people are social media managers. So it's good to have that. You can click this and you can sign into an additional account if you so need. Or you can sign out. Completely up to you. So for after that, you've got some accessibility settings where you can require alt text before posting, display larger alt text badges, or display autoplay for videos and GIF. Or, sorry, not display, but disable autoplay for videos and GIFs. So you might wonder what this one's actually for. This is for people who have epilepsy and other disorders. You wouldn't want to have a flashing GIF automatically play while you're browsing around on the internet, because that could cause you to have a seizure. So moving through, we've got the appearance settings. You can set the color mode to system, light, or dark mode. You can have the dark theme dim or dark, or like dark. So the dim is like a light blue kind of color. Well, not a light blue, but like a really dark blue. And dark is proper black. And then font, you can have a themed font or the system font. I kind of like the theme font, and I also recommend it. And then font size, this is default. I'm getting to be an old man, so I'm going to go with larger. Then after that, we've got languages. They support a broad variety of languages. Primary languages, same thing. So there's app language and primary language. So this is the one that I speak versus the one that you want to be displayed in the app. And then content languages, you can pick a preferences of basically any language on the planet. If you do not set these as on, it will not, I'm guessing, display Arabic or Albanian or Akan. For me, it'll only display English content, because I don't know a lot of other languages, unfortunately. I don't feel very fancy, but if you want to see content in other languages, you can toggle them on or off in this lengthy menu of all the different languages that are available in the world, practically. After that, we have the moderation tab. This includes things like muted words and tags. You can actually automatically block content that deals in certain keywords or key phrases or tags, and you can set that up and add that here in this window. You can add moderation lists of, shareable lists of users to mute or block in bulk, so that, like, let's say there's a list of people that don't like your brand of LGBTQ people very much and you don't really want to see them, you could automatically block them using a list here. Muted accounts, if you've muted anybody, you can see them in this list, and if you've accidentally muted the wrong person, you can remove them by clicking on their name and unmuting them. And similarly, if you've blocked someone, you can see them in a list here. Then you can't reply to them, and they can't really reply to you or otherwise interact with you. But if you've accidentally muted or blocked someone, you'll see them here, and you can remove them, or you can just see if you actually did block someone or not. Down here, you've also got the content filters. I was just talking in the previous tutorial about how to enable adult content. If you enable that here, you can set up what does or does not get shown to you based upon if it's just adult content, like sexually explicit images. If it's suggestive, graphic, or non-sexual nudity, you can determine show, warn, or hide. This might be for things like, let's say you have friends that draw adult content and you want to be supportive, but you don't want to see that at work so you don't get in trouble. You can set that to hide. That sort of thing. They also have some Bluesky official moderation services, along with community guidelines in here that you can see. So you can kind of fine tune all of the different content that you do or do not want to see based upon these labels, posts, replies, all that good stuff here. Wow, there's a lot of stuff here that you can control, including if you want to see content that involves self-harm or substance abuse, which I think is good that they get really fine-tuned. They also like to protect you against stuff that could be a potential scam, because people are always trying to do that. So you have a lot of really fine-tuned security settings built into Bluesky that you can adjust right here. And then down here, logged out visibility. Do you want to discourage apps from showing your content to people who aren't logged in? So if someone's not logged in, they just won't see your stuff, which, you know, for privacy purposes, might not be a bad idea, especially if you deal in like adult content. That being limited to people who are logged in, probably a good thing. Following along that, you've got following feed preferences. You can show replies, show reposts, show quote posts, show posts from my feeds if you want. This one shows samples of your saved feeds in your following feed. This is an experimental feature, so I haven't tried this one yet, but you can if you want. After that, we've got thread preferences. You can sort replies by oldest first, newest first, most liked replies first, or random. You can prioritize your follows, or you can go into threaded mode, which basically puts replies into their own threaded view, which is probably more of like a chat forum rather than your typical Twitter-esque like format that they're kind of going with now. After that, we have my saved feeds. You can pin feeds and remove them or put them up and down in this list of priority here. I don't have any, so if you have saved feeds, you want to edit those feeds, you can do so here. And then you've got chat settings. Who do you want to see messages from? People that you follow, people that is basically anybody or nobody. You have those options here to change who gets to send you direct messages. You've got privacy for external media preferences. So currently, you won't have any of your information shared with any of these platforms unless you specifically click the play button on content that is embedded into the actual like post feed. If you enable them manually, they will always be active when you see them on the page, regardless of whether or not you clicked them already. So that's basically what you can do here, is you can enable or disable them to be more snappy and responsive when you're trying to view them, but at the same time, it will expose whatever information is available about you publicly to those services without you having to directly interact with them. So that's yours to choose. I'm just going to leave those turned off. Advanced app passwords. So you can add a specific password for a specific purpose for a specific app, where you can, you know, allow access to specific things for like certain applications that want to integrate into Bluesky. You can make a special password just for them, so that way it doesn't compromise your main password if something happens to that service. And it also doesn't give them access to the broad majority of the information on your account, which I think is really good. So if you need to make a new app password for companies that want to log into your Bluesky, things like stuff that wants to post on your behalf when you go live on Twitch, perhaps, that kind of stuff, you can set up these additional passwords here. You can change your handle by clicking Change Handle. Mine's currently at Larry Chupacabra, but if I wanted to go by Chupacabra Tutorials, I could click that. You can also set up two-factor authentication, which requires an email code every time you log into your account. I should probably set that up, and you should probably set that up too, because it protects your account from random people breaking in and impersonating you, and that's a really weird thing that people do, because they might try to scam your friends and send them a virus or something to steal their money. Down here, you can change your password. You can export all of your personal data from the system so you can see what they have about you. You can deactivate your account, but it'll still be there so you can reactivate it, or you can entirely delete your account in its entirety by clicking this button down here at the bottom and going through the confirmation process. So that's a brief look at all of the different settings here for Bluesky. I hope you found this helpful. It's not the most in-depth explanation of some of the more deeper features here, but some of these it's better if you get an individual tutorial to go into detail on things like, under moderation, how to use the add muted words and tags feature to get the most out of it. So until next time, I've been your host, Larry. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you next time. Bye, everybody, and have a good one.